Anything but yeehaw.
Perhaps some yeehaw.
A smidgen of yeehaw, if you will.
Just you have to get the yee to haw ratio correct, or you'll just spoil the whole thing.
A little sousant of yeehaw as a treat.
Whoa, shit.
Connoisseur of yeehaw chili over there. Gonna be that throwback item that is still in your inventory.
We have to take Aiden with us to Germany.
I mean, you absolutely do.
Both Aiden and I've forgotten the cowboy's name.
Oh no.
Gunter.
Gunter will lose their mind.
Probably. They'll have fun.
Of course.
I think just if you bring Johnny to Gunter in and of itself, it's just gonna be me suffering at doing a voice.
Oh, I'm here for this.
We have to take them all. We have to take everyone to Germany.
Field trip.
I mean, it's inevitable. You've got stuff there that you want.
Yeah,
it's true.
We've got stuff there that we want. I've got stuff to deliver.
In a pinch, you have a very high level scroll that could take you right there.
We also have to introduce Aiden to Kwaku because the sticky hoof thing.
Oh, fair.
That's fun times.
And we have a monk. We have a monk too.
You do now. You've recruited a monk who has spent the day in a basement making sure nothing gets out.
That's going to be fun in about 3 weeks when we finally wrap up Clock Tower.
Who knows?
It'll be more than 3 weeks, let's be real.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, you're in Clock Tower. By the way, it's been running for like almost 2 minutes. It was more fun not to tell you this time. But
I'm sure.
Yeah, so we're back. We're going to pick up where we dropped off last time, just as the very brief recap. Last time we picked up in the gardens, where after consuming / stealing special mage flowers, you decided to regroup at a nearby, largely empty-looking greenhouse, where it turns out the greenhouse is actually a mage's workshop from the botany department. You snuck in, you looked around a little bit, you found a bunch of blights, similar to the ones that you found in Germany, as well as a few high-level druid scrolls. You determined that there were previously more blights than the ones in there now, because they were apparently starting to die out from neglect after having been in there on their own for a very long amount of time. Some checking with Vivi for information shows that the mage who runs that, Irvine Gilrath, apparently has been missing for a while, or at least he hasn't checked in. But he was a Circle of Spores druid who is frowned upon in the druid community because while druids are all about keeping their secrets, he went to Clock Tower, shared a lot of what he knew in exchange for presumably preferential status and resources, and mostly seemed to keep to himself, do his own experiments, and then occasionally go on minor expeditions with the archaeology department to provide information on the local flora in various places for safety and mystery reasons. But he hasn't been seen in a while, and that's that. Following that, you decided to actually go to archaeology, but you met Vivi along the way. When you did, you decided that the timing was right as a group, so you instead went to go catch Lord El-Melloi II or II, or however they localized it. I've never heard it dubbed. His classroom, because he's about to give a lesson. So that's where you went with your horse.
Yeah. Class.
With our horse.
Learning.
Education.
We're
Yep,
gonna educate the horse.
you've made your way through. Apparently, Hither Saxcote is sufficiently eccentric that it's not as big of a surprise for her to just ride in on a horse as you might have expected. And so a lot of you have now plopped inside of the classroom for Modern Magecraft with your horse. And for people like paying attention to this at home, yes, there are a few actual Type Moon characters here. So my apologies on their voices not being professional voice actors that you know. I don't even know who voices Luvia. I'm pretty sure I can't do it. Just throwing that out there.
It's like a weird, in the dub, it's like a weird combination of British and Southern.
It's
That's how Finnish works, right?
Totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I heard the dub just to get an idea, and Waver's voice in the dub is fine, but it's not what I expected.
Yeah.
And Gray sounds more confident in the dub. But it might have just been the scene I watched. I don't know.
Confidence? What's that?
She doesn't have a lot of confidence in the Japanese.
Yeah, that's true.
Very true.
But that could just be the nature of like anime voices as well.
Also.
But yeah, you plopped in here, and Hemlock, a psychopomp, has flown over to sit next to Gray, the Gravekeeper. How could this have happened? The two seem to be getting along okay right now.
Hey. Hemlock made a friend.
Hemlock has made two friends, because you don't really understand it in character, but Hemlock is currently pecking away at a little cage that she seems to be holding.
Oh no!
Free your brethrens.
Annis is not worried because she knows that Hemlock is smart and would not just really go up to something or someone that was dangerous to him or her.
It's true. But yep, so you're all now plopped, and the professor, upon observing the lot of you come in, reached under his desk and he pulled out some glasses and put them on. And from there, he's like confirmed, yes, that appears to be a horse in the front row. He's not commenting on it, just noticing all of this going on.
You know, that's true.
Contrary to the tokens, because like I guess I could swap out the tokens if I really wanted to. But actually, did I make those? I probably did. Like the game of me remembering what I've done.
What have you done?
What are my methods? What have I done? Feels like I would have. They would be in the PCs folder. Apparently I have not, so that's on me. Oh well. You're in disguise. The important reminder for everyone at home is that you're in disguise.
Yeah.
You're all in your false identities of Hither Saxcote and Yon Saxcote and Market Foxby and a horse who has not given a name to anyone else yet, but we all know has one.
Newton Poemoor.
Good old Newton Poemoor.
Hew, 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 hew.
Best horse.
Hew, 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 hew.
Newton Poemoor, who turned back to the students who were having a little bit of trouble seeing over them and simply said, nay.
Oh, they're having trouble seeing?
Not really. It was more just the confusion.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, I was
the-
gonna say,
It's a
I'll
little
go
harder
down.
to tell in the map, but like the back rows are a little bit higher. I just didn't put an incline on it.
Okay, I thought they were. So
Yeah,
I was worried for
it's a very
second.
typical like college-y room. It's bigger than the one actually shown in Case Files because squeezing all of you into that would just be miserable.
Oh, absolutely.
We're operating on the assumption that there's a little bit of budget that has been utilized here.
They get a budget?
A little
Dang,
bit.
it's spent in the sports department. What?
You'll also notice that the windows on this map seem to imply that there are two suns, but that's just due to the nature of the pictures used for windows. There's only the one. This is not like when you were in the dungeon where every window had the sun in it. This is just the nature of the map.
Gotcha.
I don't know what you're talking about. I fully believe there are two suns right now.
No.
Oh, I mean, they were in a dungeon where every window had the exact same thing on the outside of it.
It was weird.
Oh.
All right, but I think that about sums up how we got here. So, would anyone like to do anything, or are you just going to let the professor give his lesson?
Annis is going to take out a little notebook and pen that she keeps on her at all times and make it very clear that she is poised and ready to take notes.
Penelope is going to adjust her fake glasses like she's also checking out the professor up front, being like, "Yep, that is certainly a professor," and then also gets out a little notebook.
You're gonna pass Aiden some paper by chance?
She's gonna poke Aiden and be like, "Do you want to? I know you're a horse, but would you like to take notes?"
He's gonna look at you like the good trained horse that he is, and just shake his head, like up and down for yes.
Okay. She just scoots over a piece of paper and another pen. These are sparkly pins, by the way, of course. But yeah. Think very Elwood's at her first day of law school.
I was just thinking that too. I'm not.
Checks out.
Magecraft, what? Like it's hard?
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, for reference, Johnny has not pulled out any pieces of paper. It is just looking forward.
She's gonna scoot another piece of paper over to Johnny and a pin.
Thank you. She's going to very awkwardly hold the paper in front of her with the pen. Like, she seems to not want to take her eyes off the professor.
Oh shit! Is the pen capped or uncapped?
I'll uncap it for you.
There
Just
you go.
realized that's gonna cause a problem.
A hand reaches out of your mouth and
Yeah.
clicks the pen.
And then she's also gonna like reach over and like doodle a little smiley face on the corner of Johnny's paper.
She'll smile back at that. And Hither Saxcote over on the other side from Johnny is leaning back like an anime delinquent student.
Oh my god.
Because she's not actually a student, so she's just here to visit, so to speak. She's technically visiting faculty.
True. Penelope's gonna take yet another piece of paper and just write hi with a smiley face and a little heart, and then just slide it over to Hither Saxcote.
She will accept this note, and she will look up at the Lord, and she is going to proceed to start folding a fortune teller.
Oh my god.
Such is the nature of the bard. But yeah, so you are all getting ready for that. Like, looking around at the other students, most of them are just distracted by the fact that you brought in a horse. That's a bit distracting. A lot of the students seem to be somewhere between confused and entertained. They're looking back and forth between this group of new people and the horse, and the professor, who seems to be actively ignoring the horse.
Oh, he's not gonna ignore for long.
I mean, as you do. And the blonde-haired girl that Annis recognizes as Luvia is also just sort of sitting here, but she's now steepled her hands and is leaning forward looking for a show. She's gone from being surprised to being entertained. So
Oh no.
See how that goes. But given that, you can kind of see the green line across the bottom of the map. That is in fact like a blackboard.
Okay.
And on this blackboard, it's got a few bits of like imagery on it that you get the impression were probably left over from like a previous class, because they don't seem to be like orientation level stuff so much as just random diagrams, not random, but like you don't see much of a connection between them. You're having a little trouble determining whatever the previous lesson was about based on that stuff, but you see some things on there. You see a 7-pointed star at one point. You see a list of the different departments of Clock Tower over on the side. You can make out at one point you actually see what almost looks like a family tree type diagram. And it seems to just have a wide range of diverging paths sticking off of it. at forking intervals, but none of it's labeled. It's more just a picture.
Is there anything written on the tree-looking thing?
Like specific wording?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to need to roll for that because this room is designed for you to be able to see and read things.
Yay.
Yeah, so at the very top of the tree at that initial point, you can see simply, it says 0 AD. And looking a little closer, you can see very, like, a little more subtle but still legible. Off to the side of the tree, like not the individual ones, but almost like a bar chart, you can see intervals of 100 years going from top to bottom, covering the last 2,000 years. And there seems to be a divergent point at roughly every, like, third of a ticker, so about every 30 years. It's a pretty elaborate thing when you consider the scale of what's going on there and the number of deviations in it. Like, at first glance, it just looks like a big triangle, but you can see the details now that you're paying attention, and that it is just a series of branching paths and splits.
Neat.
Yep. Okay, well, if no one has anything else, the professor is going to begin.
Yee.
So, now wearing his glasses, and while he's standing behind a desk at first, he actually gets up and walks to the side a little bit. And I'm not going to move him back and forth because that would be distracting as hell. But he's not just standing still. He's doing the professor thing where you walk around just a little bit. He's not doing laps or anything, but he's not entirely stationary. As it seems we have new faces, I think I'll repeat the question that I received before they arrived in advance of the class, for their benefit and for the benefit of everyone. However, especially this new group, and this time he does look directly at the horse.
The horse is looking very intently back.
I would appreciate it if you would stick around after the class because I definitely have some questions.
Oh, Lord.
And at this point, you can sort of see his eyes looking a little bit bigger than they were before. Like he's finally acknowledging, with the horse looking back, that it's there.
You are not hallucinating, sir.
Yep, that's the horse. It's not going away.
Apologize to Penelope in advance.
The question, as I mentioned, it's quite simply, if Magecraft grows weaker with each generation that passes, and the most powerful techniques are closely guarded secrets among pedigreed families, what exactly is there to learn, and why does it matter? And he gestures to the big triangle chart as he says this. And now that you're looking at it more focused, you can see that the lines at the top of it, where that initial starting point was, are thicker than the branching timelines. And it seems like he almost adjusted the angle of the chalk when he drew this so that near the bottom things are very, very thin, but at the top it's thick. It's a bold question to raise within these walls, but I'm glad it was raised all the same. Sometimes it helps to refocus ourselves on what we're all doing here. When I was a student myself, I was a proud and arrogant little shit who thought he knew everything. That hubris literally got people killed. And he looks very sternly across the room now. So listen very carefully before anyone gets any bold ideas about just how smart and talented you are. And with that, he reaches over under that desk where he'd pulled out his glasses before,
Oh, no.
and he pulls out a cigar box,
Oh.
which he places flat on the table. It's true that what we accomplish now is a pale imitation of what was done before. And he gestures toward the top of the little chart. Where once mages like Solomon could command the world and bend reality to their will, the rules have changed. The world of today has less mystery, the mana is more thin, and the great secrets of the mage world are lost or held so close to the chest that there's little chance anyone in this room will ever benefit from them. I know. You've heard this all before, but I need to really emphasize to you just how much things have changed. The contents of this box, and he gestures towards it, were taken from the woods surrounding a city in the Far East, where the ley lines have run dry. Have a look for yourselves. And he flips up the top of the box and tilts it slightly so that you can look inside of it. And you can see a frail branch of a cherry blossom tree. It's very small. Like, this is not a huge box, but you can tell from looking at it that it was a tree with the iconic, pinkish white blossoms on it. All the color, though, is drained from it. And with a lot of you sitting right here in the front row, you can actually see through it slightly. Like, it's slightly transparent.
Oh, no.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Outside of, is it kind of like what we saw near the castle?
It is very similar to what you saw near the castle.
Okay.
Like, a lot of the plants there were drained pretty badly. This thing is worse off than that.
Gotcha.
Like, those ones, when you touched them, they snapped off. You get the impression if you touched this one, it would just actually collapse under its own weight. And you can now kind of see, because you're so close, that the inside of the cigar box has a Magecraft circle on it, and it seems to be like there's some kind of bounded field preserving the thing in the box so that it doesn't.
Gotcha.
That's what we have to look forward to if we continue to rely on old methods without any regard for the world we actually live in today. We're not channeling the ley lines of Babylon or gathering the ambrosia of Olympus. We're sitting in a blessedly air-conditioned room on the face of a planet that runs on physics, not mystery. And he flips the box closed, and he puts it back under the desk. He pauses for a second, looking over the room, taking in, like, the reactions of people, which are largely surprised at seeing the plant at this point, because that is weird.
Yeah.
Then he pulls out another cigar box.
Oh, no.
Similar to the first one. But he flips it open, and he takes out a cigar.
Oh. But the cigar is transparent.
And then he clips off the end of it, and he lights it. And he starts to smoke while he's walking around now.
Smoking in the room?
Yeah.
Rude.
England.
2005.
I mean, that's fair.
England and mages.
Penelope's just gonna grimace a little bit, like, ugh.
Yeah. So now that he's taken a moment to do that, let me share a quick anecdote with you about what modern Magecraft brings to this table. A few years back, when my predecessor was in this role, a young mage came to Clock Tower with a discovery. The girl was quite young, a teenager in fact, and she claimed to have found a way to power Magecraft, not with odd or mana from the body, or the ley line even, but instead through electricity, direct current. You can see the other students lean forward now. Like, this is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed absurd, of course. Electricity doesn't carry mana, so how could it be converted with magic circuits into magical energy that could then be leveraged in Magecraft? He seems to actually be looking for an answer from the room. None of the students are offering anything.
He's asking like how we think the electricity powers the magic?
Yeah.
God.
She's gonna raise her hand.
Yes.
Like, kind of like a battery, I guess.
It's about as close as we could hope for. It shouldn't be possible. But batteries store electricity, just as mages store mana. One of the unfortunate things that I did learn about a decade ago is what someone who wants mana can get from a mage. Batteries would certainly be less vulgar. But still, it shouldn't be possible. Electricity is not mana. But while every other department scoffed at the absurdity of it, Modern Magecraft brought an open mind to it and invited the girl in. She demonstrated for us, or my predecessor, that she could activate mystic codes that required mana in one hand, so long as her skin was in contact with modern batteries. Our department devised a series of tests to understand this, and ultimately determined that, regretfully, this was the result of a unique sorcery trait in her bloodline, and not something that we could replicate. What could have been a very convenient solution to our Magecraft needs that integrates directly into the modern energy systems turned out to be an aberration that only benefited one would-be mage with no pedigree. He takes another puff on his cigarette while he lets that set in the air. Or sorry, his cigar. The other departments saw this as proof that our department was foolish. But they missed a very important point. One that I feel all of you should keep in mind as well. This girl's family was considered unimportant and traitless for generations. But all along they concealed a very potent sorcery trait that allowed one of their descendants to tap into a world of substitute magical energy far beyond what anyone could have expected of her. She is walking proof that as the world has changed around us, so too has our potential as mages. And he goes back to that big chart, and he points at the higher levels, not the top, but upper middle. And he traces a finger down it to one of the branching points. Some mages spent generations cultivating magecraft alchemy, whose ingredients are now so rare that they could lose hundreds of years of work to extinction, and then he just wipes off one branch. Other mages, however, may yet tap into hidden potential awakened by the increased density of the electromagnetic spectrum or the untapped power to execute complex and precise gestures across great distances through integration with the internet. And he takes one of the really thin branches at the bottom and he fills it in to be a lot thicker, more in line with the branches several lines up from it. The point, then, is that we're not going to discover these things in the archaeology department. Looks directly at Hither Saxcote. Spiritual evocation is unlikely to leverage anything of the modern era, give or take some upstart who's seen Ghostbusters getting a few clever ideas. Looks at Hither Saxcote again.
Jesus. He is going for, like, attacks.
They got a thing.
He's out for blood.
They got beef.
Go for the jugular.
Hither Sax, are you gonna take that?
Oh, don't worry.
Wait, are you actually whispering?
I might, honestly. I'm just kind of like, Horse just looks, like, doesn't move head, but looks outside of eye, looks at Hither Sax. Wait, Hither Sax is next to me, right?
That's Yon.
No, where's Hither Sax?
Hither is the one at the end. Though she seems to be leaning back with like mild entertainment from all of this regardless. In fact, as he's talking about modern technology, she fishes out her phone.
Penelope's gonna see this and also fishes out her phone, just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Gonna keep staring at this lecture going on.
Go for it.
Wait, is everybody else taking notes currently? What do the other students look like they're doing?
Some of them seem to be taking notes. Others of them seem to just be looking forward and listening carefully. No one seems to be checked out.
Okay. I'm going to take the pen that I have with one hoof and hold it in place.
With a hoof?
A hoof.
Okay.
Don't make fun of me. I hear you. Actually, that's gonna be a lot. Okay, I smash it with my nice little clippity clop, and I get the like glitter gel all up on my hoof, and I start slapping it on the paper, and I'm making notes.
So it's like a
little perfect U shape.
Beautiful.
It's totally writing, but I am taking notes now. This is very intense. Don't mind the glitter explosion.
He seems to be briefly observing this behavior to make sure that you're not like trampling over one of the students. Notices that you're not, and then turns his attention back to Luvia in the second row. Mineralogy will continue to search the planet below us for increasingly scarce resources. And botany will continue to crossbreed plants and mix herbs to find new and exciting potions. But their methodologies are unlikely to change, and their preoccupation with finding the parts of the world unspoiled by the age of man will keep their heads down and their eyes closed. Make no mistake, the world around us is changing, in some ways for the better, and in many ways, he's like, gestures towards the blackberry. Some ways for the better, and in many ways for the worse. Also gestures toward the blackberry.
Penelope puts the phone away and just kind of just looks sheepishly over at Hither Saxcote and is just like,
But mages and humanity as a whole cannot simply keep doing what we've been doing and expect things to work out. He goes back to his chart again, and he circles 5 branch points. 5 mages in human history have reached the root of Akasha and returned to share slivers of their revelation. And by returned, I use that very generously, as, quite frankly, we don't know where some of them are, and others are dead. And he starts erasing entire branches from his tree again.
Does he know what root of Akasha is? Yeah.
Yeah, you would know that. Like that's
okay.
You're a spellcaster. You would know that is essentially the origin of all information and knowledge, and by extension, the universe as we know it.
Cool.
Like most mages' goal is to somehow touch it and gain access to the source code of existence.
All right. Well, he's smearing off like 5 lines that he drew earlier. He's like, shit, they're gone now. He kind of looks at Penelope. He kind of needs more paper.
It's gonna slide him 3 more sheets of paper.
Oh, excellent.
Don't waste it. I didn't bring a lot.
But even the ones who returned from the root haven't brought back the age of gods. And he circles the very top of this chart at 0 AD. Or the world that could support true magic. Every other department is studying what we've lost. Only Modern Magecraft studies what we can find. That's what we're doing here. That's what you need to keep your focus on, and that's the only path we can hope to walk into the future. I hope at least some of you have learned something here today. I expect to see every one of my students back here ready to learn with an open mind. For now, one of the other, admittedly less exciting for some and much more exciting for others, aspects of The world of modern magecraft awaits you, which is socialization and networking. Many of you here have already been in my courses. Many more are here for curiosity. However, contrary to the hermits who hide in the woods, the witches who hide away in their castles, and the incredibly arrogant people who hide away in, well, Clock Tower, I believe that it's important to actually get to know people and understand the resources available. I tried to do everything on my own when I was a child, and it got people killed. I suggest you, if not make a friend, at least make an ally or two. It's a dangerous world. Things don't appear to be getting safer. And if you would truly like to discover the potential of magecraft, you're going to cross many disciplines. Perhaps the solution isn't in mineralogy or botany, but perhaps there are links between the two that can take you closer. Perhaps great mysteries do still lurk within the world of archaeology, but they just need to be seen in a new way. That said, try not to go too far into curses. Doesn't work out for anyone. Well, go ahead. Talk to one another. And he sits down and just watches you all.
Turns face to Annis. Just goes, nay.
Annis will very overtly pretend to cast Speak with Animals. And then be like, oh, fascinating. Do tell me more, Mr. Horse.
Nay, nay.
Wow,
And
really?
then slams hand down on paper and draws something else and then, like, slides it across.
Annis will pretend to read it. Mr. Professor, he says that your lecture was quite enjoyable and he definitely has learned a lot.
Nay.
Yes,
Excellent.
I quite agree.
Oh.
Hither, did you turn a student into a horse? Not today. Oh, that one? Yeah, that's mine. Sorry.
She didn't, I promise.
No, he's just a very smart horse.
Right. Somehow
He's
not the most
even
disruptive
pun-trained.
being to ever be in my classroom.
Penelope is gonna wander over. She's gonna wander over here.
Okay, when you get over there, you can see Hemlock seems to be not really talking so much as plopping down on the little, like, very small amount of, like, lectern-y table thing and trying to look under this girl's hood, and she keeps shifting it so that he can't.
I don't remember. Did we give Hemlock a clock tower name or
No.
Okay. She's just gonna walk up and be like, Hemlock, what are you doing? Why are you bothering her?
Oh, he's not bothering me. It's unusual to find a bird such as him. He's got a mask.
Yeah. That's hers, and she points over at Market Foxby.
Market Foxby will just wave.
It's an interesting bird. She's sort of looking over you, and she's assessing something. Everybody, we get to let Gray roll something.
Well,
It's a reminder that I have to build every character you meet, because otherwise I'll be making a mistake.
Yep.
You know what the most ridiculous thing I've had to do in this game is? Stat out Rongomeniad.
No.
Wow.
I had to do that.
Just in case we get dragged into a fight.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I had to stat out what is essentially the spear that holds the world together.
Oh, fun.
You sure did.
It's more fun that way, right?
I was about to say, did you have to, or did you want to?
I had to.
Oh,
Because
no.
it matters.
All right, Penelope is gonna scoot into this seat. Oh dear. Can't.
Ooh, that's a 19. Well rolled.
Oh no.
Uh,
I can't scoot. I'm there. I'm in the seat. It's fine.
In like the half spot, yeah.
Yeah.
Are
But
you
she's
aware that
gonna
this isn't really a bird?
Huh?
This isn't really a bird.
I mean, he looks bird-shaped to me.
He's bird-shaped, but he's made of something else. It's fascinating, really. Seems like a good bird, though.
Oh, he's great. Penelope reaches into her bag and like pulls out a cookie. I don't know why she has a cookie in her bag, but why not?
Because she's Penelope.
And she just hands it over to Hemlock.
Hemlock absolutely hops on that.
do
He's
I
like-
sense the cookies?
He's like
Roll
90%.
perception.
I fucking will.
He's like 90% snacks at this point, honestly.
Perception.
That's reasonable.
Fuck.
You do not sense the cookie.
No, it was gonna be a 15.
Yeah, that's probably why he seems less bird.
Penelope, roll perception.
Oh no. Okay, hold on.
It's okay. I took all the low roll curses for you. I believe in your high roll.
It's okay.
You can hear a very low but muffled voice coming from right in front of you, but it doesn't seem to be coming from the girl, but it is coming from the girl's space. And it's... You can make out what it's saying a little bit, and it boils down to... That's an Asoy if I've ever seen one. And she's whispering back at it. Shh, not now.
Did you say something?
What? No, it's very nice to meet you.
Because it sounded like there was a second voice there.
Oh, that's just... Don't worry about that.
You know what? Okay, fair. But
Although,
yeah,
you do actually get a view of her face when she has to shush that up a bit.
This is gonna hop up and go over. It's like, oh, it's rude for you not to also introduce me.
Is there anything that I notice about her face in particular, or?
I'm just gonna share this for the benefits of the internet,
She
so
has
that I can
really
get
pretty-
demonetized. Not that I was monetized.
Pretty blue eyes.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, "Oh, you have really pretty eyes."
Oh, thank you.
That's
And
right,
she pulls her
Barbara.
hood way more down now, like she's trying to avoid anyone seeing her face.
Oh, really?
Well, how long have you been a student in this class?
Just a few years. Not really a student. I'm more of the Lord Professor's assistant.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is not gonna be.
Ooh.
Squeeze into that space.
You'd be like, "Hello." Oh my god! Oh my god! Where the actual heck are my manners? Hi. I'm Yon Saxcote.
Oh, yes, a pleasure to meet you. My name's Gray.
Oh,
like the
cool.
color.
Oh, spelled A-Y or E-Y?
The sad thing is it's katakana,
Oh.
so I don't actually remember which one they made canon.
I'm pretty sure it's AY, but the
I think they went with AY, which is not the British spelling, but I think they went with AY.
We're we're gonna say AY.
Yeah.
So that I can write it down.
It was one of those things that I've never thought about until this moment.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. You were right. It is AY.
Okay. I'll take it.
I got you. A Hugh.
At this point, I think Annis probably would have made her way over.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Just thought I'd come and introduce myself to the person that Hemlock is so enamored with. Oh, hello. My name is Annis. Oh. Fuck. Nope, I didn't say that.
Would you like a do-over on that one?
What? Wait, what did I just miss?
She just used her real name.
Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I'm so used to it that I didn't.
If I'd been looking at the token of me and of her and
I'm not going to hold you that because you're looking at the Annis token. I don't blame you. Like, I'm the one who didn't actually make the new tokens. I thought I did, but I don't see them.
I thought you did too.
I feel like I made them and put them in here and just don't know what I labeled them as. Because I feel like we were using the other tokens for a while.
Yeah.
I thought I saw them at one
Let
point.
me
So I'm not.
see if I put it in a different folder.
Or maybe it was just the pictures that you showed me.
Like, I know I have the pictures, but I really felt like I made tokens and we used them in a session. But
Yeah, I think it was like the first session where we teleported into Clock Tower from the Mage's Workshop.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
My brain could just be inventing a thing, but I really thought I did, or I would have, because they don't take very long. But I don't seem to have them. But yes, you introduced yourself as Market.
Market Foxby.
Market.
Hi, yes, my name is Gray. I'm the professor's assistant.
Oh, nice to meet you. Hemlock, are you being rude?
Hemlock is eating a cookie.
I gave him a cookie.
Oh, thank you.
He's 90%.
He really is. I don't have a good idea of when he's hungry and when he just wants.
And it's so great since you're the professor's assistant. Lord Professor, what's a good way to talk to him? Or to convince him to talk to you? Or to talk to us?
Well, he did say
I think he wants to speak to you after the class.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say when Professor said to make friends or allies, and you guys were over there, I was just
yeah,
gonna...
I don't know. Is there something that he really likes that could maybe endear him to us a little more than just being like, "Hey, Professor, what's up?"
I got you all covered.
I mean, well, he likes cigars.
I don't have any.
He likes cigars and tea and alcohol.
Oh, is this closed?
Ooh.
And Japanese video games.
Ooh.
Oddly specific.
Did you just jump over the table?
He's crawling over it.
I mean, it's true. I didn't lock it, so that's up to you.
I did find out you can open the front of the desk.
Yeah. Really, I just built them all as windows so that you'd have something to bump into, not to actually stop you.
Well, you can't stop me from going to this man's desk.
It's true.
That's just the artwork. Oh, okay.
Don't mind me. You guys continue conversating.
And, oh shit!
Uh,
Sorry. Okay, hold on.
dear horse
I have
is escaped. I'm so sorry I left him alone.
I still have glitter ink all over my hoof.
I would have thought that.
Penelope's gonna vault over.
Open sesame.
Johnny is just watching all of this happen, and
I'm so sorry.
and Vivi is like the two of them are just sort of watching all of this play out. Like, this is entertainment. You know, I didn't
So
think
is
bringing
this
the horse
actually
is a
what's
good
on his
idea, but
desk?
I'll go with it.
Hemlock, you be good. If you're good.
Oh, wait, where's the board?
And Annis will also.
The blackboard?
Yeah, is it like right behind him?
It's that green line directly across the bottom of the wall.
Oh, okay.
Vault it over.
Eh.
Try and intercept the horse.
It's too late. The horse is fast and slippery.
True.
He's looking at the nice lines on the board that he erased.
We are so sorry about him. He's normally so much better behaved.
And he's like, so like, are these just like human lions or like all sorts of families or like?
They're not really labeled as such. They just have branches. From the lesson, you can try to extrapolate like what he was going for, but
like, so it wasn't like actually nothing was labeled. It was just
none of them were like listed mage lines or anything like that. It was really just at the top things were thicker, but there were less of them, and over time things got thin because they spread out.
Okay.
But his point was that some of them were able to consolidate and get stronger again through new techniques coming about.
Okay.
Well, others died out entirely.
Aiden's gonna like take his glitter covered hoof and he's gonna like slap it a few times separate from the lions on one side, and then make kind of like, I don't know, like a God, it's really hard to make a shape when it's just a fucking U.
Yeah.
An upside down U. He'll attempt to make it look like a circle or something, just a blob, and then he'll like attempt to draw a line where it tries to connect with the other lines, and then make like one thick line going down. And he's struggling, but it's glittery and it's pink and it might stain the board. So
What are you trying to say? And Ennis will just lean in very, very close. What are you trying to say?
Nay. And then very, very fucking quietly, it's just like, if they just worked together with those that are, in the other, it might be easier to bring back magic to all around, working the fuck together.
Very wise. What was Aiden's clock tower name again?
Newton Poemoor.
Very, very wise as always, Newton Poemoor. And she was just like, oh no, you rolled to see if he noticed.
I'm rolling a few things here. He's got a few reactions to consider.
Turn toward Waver, El-Melloi II, and be like, I think I'm trying to figure out how to translate it from horse speak into human English. It's something like, perhaps if mages work together with beings from the other side of the world, it would be better. They could be united, and it would bring magic back stronger.
This horse is a fucking genius.
All of the other students have stopped socializing with each other and are now watching this play out. Admittedly, this started when the horse crossed, because they wanted to see what would happen. And now it's turning into this weird, like, horse whisper situation.
Penelope's just standing there with her jaw just, like, dropped, like...
Just... Newton Poemoor just looks at Market Foxby and just shakes head.
Up
like,
and down,
gently shakes head, keyword, and just goes, nay.
That's certainly an interesting idea. Now, problem, of course, is that the other side of the world is cut off.
But are there not ways of communicating with other dimensions? Clerics can do it. Bards can do it. Druids can do it. Like Kim thinks that there might be a druid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, quite possibly. Quite possibly.
If we druids can communicate with animals, like dear, extremely smart, high IQ Newton here, perhaps we can communicate with the other side of the world.
I just stepped on...
Newton just takes his hoof and just like, I don't know if horse bodies can do this, so he just kind of turns sideways and just, oh no, that would require like the leg to go away. It doesn't move. So he will crawl up his body as gently as possible and just smack in emphasis, nay.
Now, come on, Newton. Why don't we go back to our seats?
Where's the box? Where's that one box?
Which box?
The one with the tree twig in it.
Oh, that's under the table.
Oh shit. He wanted to look at it some more.
What? Wait, what are you trying to tell me, Newton? And she's gonna lean in very close. Ear against the fake horse head close. I'm leaning in close to the microphone.
Just like, sorry. I'm just like picturing you with, or picturing Annis with like her ear right up against his ab.
Just
No.
right against the mouth hole. Just
No, I'm leaning close to the mouth hole.
Oh my god. Oh god. Okay, so yeah, he'll turn back to you. So like he's facing away from the teacher. What about the Grail?
Did we
Can
tell?
that fix it?
Did we tell Biden about the Grail? Yeah, we did, right?
I'm pretty sure
I
it
didn't-
came up.
Okay.
Biden would know about it. Like that. Even if you didn't, he does know about it.
I think
Right.
it came up in session. I'm trying to remember what's in
I
game
think
and
it was
out of
last
game.
session.
I think it came up last session, because you'd mentioned why you were coming here to see the survivor of a Grail War.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Can't that?
Like, if that's not what we said, then I think it's reasonable to
Yeah.
extrapolate that was shared at some point. But I'm pretty sure that was said in game.
Yeah. So he's just like that's his question.
A very good question, Newton. She's gonna
Nay.
like turn back. I am not sitting in the chair.
Straddles onto the chair next to him.
Newton Poemoor will.
Get off of his chair, Newton. It's not meant for horses to sit. Newton is wondering if something like the legendary Holy Grail, a wish perhaps, could, bring back some of these withered mage lines.
So you mentioned the Holy Grail, and you don't even need to roll insight to know that he's like narrowed his eyes a little bit in your direction now. You've mentioned something that he has feelings about.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Annis knew that he was a survivor of
Yep.
the Grail War. So Annis knew this was going to be a loaded question.
Yeah.
Look, Aiden doesn't care. Aiden's like, if this can fix this, so be it.
So Penelope had been like leaning over the desk. She didn't jump over, but she was like leaning over to like put her hand on Hither Saxcote's arm to be like, do you like how much does he know about? She was gonna ask her about like how much does he know about like halflings and shit, and does he know your actual identity? But like in the middle of starting to ask her all this, like that's when this question has dropped. And
The
she
horse
just stops and just turns and just has this like horrified look on her face, like
The horse does not comprehend human emotions. The horse only asks hard-hitting questions. It is the best learner in this class.
I like how the horse is claiming to be a non-biased journalist at this point.
hard-hitting horse journalism.
It's like, I just need answers. Yay or nay?
Yeah. Terrible. Oh no. How long were you sitting on that?
I literally didn't think about it till
There's the episode title for you.
Oh no.
Yay or nay?
because I just said general.
But yeah, so like he's you've mentioned the Holy Grail, so he's looking a little more sternly at you. Like he seemed to be like back and forth between borderline exasperated and borderline entertained. Like he was having trouble figuring out where he felt on this one, even as this horse was making a mess. But now that you've mentioned that one, he looks a little bit more serious. Well, if you can get a Holy Grail and make a wish, I suppose you could make almost anything happen, provided you've got access to the mana to do it. That's what it's for, after all. It's an omnipotent wish-granting device, and all it costs you is 6 murders.
It's a lot of murders.
Horse just shakes head no.
That's
Well-
6 more murders than necessary.
Well, Newton, does that answer your question?
Shakes head no.
Oh, we will absolutely clean up all this
Puts
ink.
Puts hand back
We
on
will.
board.
We promise. Obviously, the horse can help.
I might be running out of glitter. I need.
We'll discuss it a bit more after class.
Newton, did you have any more questions for the professor? Lord leans in real close again.
Are we supposed to make allies now?
No, he doesn't have any more questions. So let's get back to our seat, okay? Come on. There's carrots and sugar cubes in it for you.
Oh, he's following.
Come on, Newton, let's go.
Just crawls back over the table.
Oh.
He is it in your bag?
He's normally so much better, well behaved. I have to roll.
Still
to
not
find
the
out
most
if I
disruptive student in my class.
Closing the table.
It's a natural 20. Yeah, she reaches into her bag and just pulls out some carrots, some apples, some sugar cubes.
Please shove them into his mouth.
She will gently feed 1 carrot, 2 carrots.
Nom nom.
The girl sitting beside you as you're doing this sort of leans in. So is that a person who turned into a horse, or is that a mage horse?
No, he's just a really very smart horse, but tragically, only people that know speak with animals can actually understand him. So he's hired me to be his interpreter.
Does he have money, or do you work for Oates?
You know, he's very smart, so he makes money.
Nay.
It's fine. Like, we pay her to interpret for the horse.
But also, it's just a fascinating trick, you know. People will just throw money at an intelligent horse. It's very weird. They'll be like, can it solve this equation? And he will just solve it, and then they will just be so flabbergasted that they just throw money at it.
Oh, I like how you're hyping up this horse to be smarter than he actually is, because if you put a math problem in front of him, his dumb ass would fail it.
I know.
That's why it's funny.
Don't put...
I just keep digging deeper.
No, this is really funny. Like, I'm not going to do it, but there's a temptation for him to just put an equation in front of you and ask you to solve for X.
Yeah, no, I'm like, this person's gonna be like, oh, I want to see him do some math, and he's just gonna look at, like, Market Foxby and just be like, how fucking dare you? Like...
Sugar cube.
He's gonna toss his head back so it, like, flies down the rest of the way into his actual mouth. Like, ah.
Yeah, so 100% Annis keeps snacks on her at all times for Hemlock. So when she realized the horse would be going with them to Clock Tower, she just kind of threw a bunch of stuff for the horse in with the snacks too. She's just got a snack satchel. No, I don't like that.
Don't do that.
That's not a good word.
No.
This one person looks like they haven't been talked to. We should go that way.
Where are you going?
This person. This blue person.
Oh
no. Yeah, so the blonde girl from the row behind you, she's been sitting back, like, her mouth is kind of open, almost slack-jawed at the amazing amount of decorum that you've managed to break. Also that you're a horse that's being presented as a genius. Like, the whole thing is just throwing her off a bit.
Well, we were told to make allies and friends, so he is absolutely doing that right now. He's on part 2 of his class mission. He kind of looks down at his hoof. He looks at, like, Penelope. His hoof has been dried up. He needs more glitter.
No.
Please.
No.
Are there any pens on the table that we just left?
Oh God.
I mean, it's up to however many pens you took out.
I mean, I was only given 1, but if there's any spare pens. Anyway.
Probably picked hers and her notebook up. You know what? No, that's not fair. I'm gonna roll and see if she did. She did.
Are you gonna put one down for him?
No. Newton, you're being very... Look, I am not going to give you any apples or any more sugar cubes until you stop behaving properly. I know you know how to do that.
The blonde girl watching all of this play out, she just sort of raises her right hand slightly like she has a question.
He puts his hoof to her hand.
She looks immediately down at her hand for signs of glitter.
I hope there's some left over.
Just a little bit.
Yes. They have made their contract seal.
Yon, why did you give him...
Is he named after the scientist or the cookie?
Yes.
A garden.
A garden.
There's a lot going on there.
All three.
Which,
this is interesting.
May have been named for the scientist, or the cookie, or both. So maybe it's all three.
Does he have... You said he's very intelligent and makes money. Does he have patents in his name?
No.
Does he have a diamond mine?
No.
Does he own a restaurant?
No.
How much money does he have?
Enough to pay me to be his interpreter for, I don't know, the next decade.
Are my saddlebags still on?
It's up to you.
I don't think I took them off.
It's like I said, we pay you to interpret for him because that's Hither's horse. Definitely.
True.
Hither Saxcote has been sitting here the whole time. Is like, oh right. Yes, that's my horse. He's good though.
Why do I always end up managing your horse?
Well, Yon, I know that if I leave him to you, it'll be taken care of.
Newton does a little like, like when horses bring up like their foot, they do that little dance thing with it. Or just like one leg that comes up. He's trying to like gesture to his saddlebag. So like if Penelope wants to reach in and grab some of that candy in there.
I don't know if Penelope can reach.
Oh shit, you're too short.
You're pretty short.
He'll get down a little bit.
I don't know, 4 feet you can reach a saddlebag.
True.
Yeah, hit over his side.
I don't know what you're trying to get me to do right now, but I'm gonna reach in this bag.
He'll lower himself just a little bit.
What are you trying to tell us, Newton? And she's just gonna lean in real close again.
Candy. Put it on the table.
Wait, for the blonde girl?
Yeah, I'm making an ally. We gotta present something.
Newton wants to give this lovely lady here some candy.
Out of character. Annis knows her, right?
Annis does know her.
Annis does know her.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Newton would absolutely call her a lovely lady. Look at her really great bow. She's got fashion. So.
Oh, she has fashion.
Emphasis on the lovely. Penelope is reaching into the bag and grabs some of the candy and puts it on the counter in front of Luvia.
Newton gets close to Annis's ear and like, tell her to make sure to take off the wrapper.
Oh, here's a fun question. Has Luvia ever been into the shop and seen the candy on the counter?
No, probably not.
Oh.
No.
I don't think they're that close.
Okay.
No, you met Luvia a bit ago when you were doing a drop-off for her grandmother.
Gotcha.
It wasn't in London. It was at their estate.
Gotcha.
Annis will not, because Annis knows that Luvia is smart enough to take the wrapper off.
He's just like, what if they don't know?
She's gonna slide it over and she's gonna be like, apparently the horse is insisting that we give you this?
Yeah, he'll get back up. And he'll do another, like, a foot thing. Like, except back and forth. This time, like, a little happy dance. Oh, her arms are crossed.
I should have found a picture of her doing the Otome laugh, but she only does that around Reen, so it didn't feel appropriate.
Yeah. Oh, God, I remember her face.
Yeah. She behaves
You
so
said-
differently when Reen's there that it's really easy
Yeah.
to forget.
I'm like, oh, you said that to my laugh, and instantly, like, my brain just went right back to that one image. I was like, oh, yep, okay, I remember her.
Yeah.
I give her candy.
Okay. She looks down at the candy. What kind of candy is this again? What does
With hard
Grandpat
candy.
make? Is it like rock candy? Or is it like
No, it's like
spheres?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like Werther's?
Okay, I was hoping they were spheres, or else the rest of that candy's not gonna be as useful as I thought.
It's like spheres of hard candy. Yeah, like a spherical Jolly Rancher.
Got it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so she'll reach down to check out the candy, and she'll hold it up and look at the light through it for a second, and then she'll smile, and then she'll turn back to the horse and say, "Pleased to meet you."
He's made an ally. Yes. He'll go, nay.
He says, "Pleased to meet you as well," and I am also pleased to meet you.
And me too.
My name is Luvia Galata Edelfelt.
Oh, that is a mouthful.
Yeah, I used her full name because that's what she
Oh.
uses.
No,
Wow.
Lord, please tell me that we don't have to address her by the full
Most
name.
people call her Luvia, but that's technically her long-ass mage name.
Yeah.
Oh, like that entire. That's not even like a first, middle, and last. That's just.
And that's
Luvia
also-
Galata is her first name.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be like, nay, nay.
He says his name is Newton Poemoor.
Pleasure to meet
I
you,
am
Newton.
Market Foxby.
He did like a little nod up and down.
She'll gesture over to Penelope.
Oh. Hi, I'm Yon Saxcote,
Are you Hither's sister or her cousin?
sister. Younger sister, because she will make me tell you that.
That's right.
Ugh.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. Interesting. You've certainly woken the class up a bit. The lectures are always good, but this is not what I think anyone is expecting today.
We made Newton promise to be on good behavior before we brought him. He was so interested in attending a lecture here.
Penelope's gonna walk over and just kind of like grab onto Market's arm and be like, and just like lean close and whisper like, "Don't you know that?" Oh, okay. I think I've heard of the Edelfelts before.
Sure you have. Quite
I think so.
quite an established mage family.
Yeah.
Interesting though that you brought up the Holy Grail War. You know that's a sore subject for him.
I didn't.
I didn't know that. I don't know that Newton did either. Gonna glare.
He's too smart for his own good.
He's one of the only two survivors.
Oh, there's two?
My grandmother's the other one.
Nay.
Oh.
She survived I think it was the third one. It's a messy affair. There were Nazis.
Ooh.
Ugh. Dreadful.
Very.
Yes, I don't know that he would have brought up a sore subject if he had known. Glares.
Glares at horse.
Horse would have done it anyways.
Ugh.
Yes,
Horse
it's
says,
a
"I'm here for
sensitive subject.
answers."
I don't know if Newton needs you to translate in the other direction, but it's a sensitive topic for him. He carries a bit of baggage from the 90s.
That's understandable.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, out of character, like you guys know that like magical creatures are dying. Like we'll get to that in character eventually, but it's just kind of like,
oh no, we know.
yeah. No, Newton's over here is like, bitch, my family's dead. Like, get over it. I want answers. So, the two of them are alive. He's gonna ask all day.
Not in character. Now that I know that Luvia's grandmother is another survivor of the Grail War, we have access to 2 survivors.
That's right. That's right. Newton
You've been keeping one of them alive.
That's true.
I think in canon she'd be dead by now.
Probably.
Because she was active in the Grail War that was in the 1930s.
Oh, yeah.
And mages live a long time, but I don't think she's canon alive in Fate anymore. They don't really talk about her. She's just like a minor character in Hollow Ataraxia.
Annis will turn to address Newton. Well, perhaps we'll need to use some of your money to buy the Lord some cigars or tea or something. Something he would appreciate as a, I have forgotten the word, apology, as an apology.
Luvia reaches down and she pulls out a card and then she slides it over in the direction of Market.
Yeah, Market will take it.
Yep. This shop has something that he likes. Just say you're there for the Lord of the El-Melloi, and they'll understand. You won't believe how many students have gotten on his bad side and tried to bribe their way back in. Really just the one, but
nay.
with great frequency.
Understandable. It's the address to the tea shop he likes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
Penelope's gonna look at the card in Annis's hand and be like, "Sis, you might want to look at this card too. You're gonna need this."
I think we all owe Lord El-Melloi an apology.
He's very particular about the 2, just so you know.
Oh no, I owe him more of an apology. Oh, I am so sorry. Just keep digging this ditch even more. I am going to stop talking. Oh my god, Newton, where did you go?
So
How does he do that?
The male student at the other end is sort of cautiously reaching over to pat Newton's mane.
Excellent.
And now he's rolling to see if he can realize it's fake.
It's made of real mane.
Yeah, it's not an easy roll, but he's rolling.
And this is just going to dash over.
Oh, he believes it. This is legit. This is 100% horse.
Yeah. I was like,
sorry.
I used my own fucking tail for this shit.
Newton, what are you doing? What? Just go back to your seat, please.
Newton just
I would
stares
like
at
to
the
be
other
friends with a
student.
horse. Is that an option?
Nay.
He's a very intelligent horse.
Shakes his head yes.
He says yes.
Is he from a long pedigree of mage horses?
No, he's just a freakishly intelligent horse.
He's going to lean a little bit closer to Market, and he's just going to ask, does he have a family crest? And is it like a pony? Like the little ones?
He's going to slam his hoof down and just leave a hoof print and be like, there we go. Wait, I don't have any more glitter. Shit. He's going to take the pen from the student's desk, slam it, get the ink all over it, and then pedigree stamp it on his paper.
Okay, I think this might be a roll. Does Annis know if, like, a horse could have a crest?
Oh, go for it.
I'm one of those. You have a like document saying I'm 100% rare full breed horse.
Would it be an Arcana roll?
It would be an Arcana roll for how magic crests work.
14.
So, magic crests are mages' magic circuits that are essentially passed on through surgery.
Okay.
theoretically, if the horse's body didn't reject the circuits, you could.
Oh.
But it seems very likely that they would, given they're a different species, and most of the time it's hard to even transfer crest outside of like a family.
I
Like-
thought he was just asking about like.
Oh, this
Okay.
kid's
If I
just
was a
asking if you have a
full-breed
cutie
horse.
mark. That's all.
But
Oh.
He
Anis
thinks
does
you might
not
be a
have
My
anything
Little
to do
Pony
with
horse.
it.
But yeah, and specifically for Anis, like as you recall from what you learned visiting the Lupin estate and the whole thing with the crest there, they need to both be biologically compatible and like in a lot of ways they have to be like psychologically compatible, otherwise it just doesn't pass on. It's part of why mages are such dicks to their kids to mold them into copies of themselves.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, that's awful.
So
Alright,
if
so
theoretically if a horse had magic circuits, they could be transferred to another horse.
Look, we learned
okay,
something
so
new.
it is very difficult, but Anis is keeping a straight face.
Yeah.
And she
Oh, no.
says, no, he does not have a crest. I don't think he doesn't even have magic. So he's just a horse. He's just
Nay.
rather intelligent for a horse.
That's still interesting.
He'll do the little like 1 foot up again to signal the candy.
Anis will just reach into the saddlebag and pull out a thing of candy
Yes.
and put it on the in front of the student. Newton
thank you.
says he wants some friends.
Thank you very much, Mr. Newton.
Nay. He's so proud of himself. He's gonna
Newton
befriend
says
this whole classroom.
Newton says he is quite happy to be addressed as Mr.
That's right. There is respect put in that.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. It's like he doesn't know what to do now. Like he's asked his question and now he's just staring at a horse that's apparently intelligent and gives out candy. Like he's
That's
kind
right.
of at a loss.
All right, please, let's go back to our seats, please. No, why?
Hemlock is over here.
It's true. Hemlock has run out of cookie and is back to fidgeting around with Gray.
Why do I bribe both of you?
At this point,
So
Penelope
Hither and
just
Yon, are we just gonna watch this play out?
Yep. Yon Saxcote has just firmly just plopped her face against Scarlet Pumpkintickle's arm and is just like, I can't believe this is happening. Ugh,
This is going so much better than I would have expected.
so much better.
This is so much better.
When I
Look
was
at him.
a
He's not mad. He's just confused. It's the
I
best.
did not think this day
Ugh.
was going to go this way.
Did you said Market Foxby totally actually casted Speak with Animals, right?
No,
She just faked it.
pretended-
Oh, damn it.
She just faked it.
But she can talk to Hemlock without needing it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
familiar.
Oh shit. Okay. Shit. Oh yeah, cause familiar.
Is she actually communicating with Hemlock?
Sure.
Yeah, what's she
I
saying?
was just-
Because I think you have a psychic connection, don't you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you don't even have to
Interesting.
use your words, so to speak, should you wish to communicate with Hemlock.
She's not going to say this out. Well, maybe she will. Like, all right, Hemlock, what are you doing?
Hemlock pauses from fidgeting with Gray and then looks back over at Anis. And I'm going to do a Hemlock roll.
Hey. It's okay. I'm like hovering over this person now.
Do you want me to roll for him, or?
You can, sure. Do a history check for Hemlock. The
Hemlock is-
unused roll for Hemlock.
He's got a +2,
He does.
He's
It's
Hey.
positive.
Hey.
but that's a 5,
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
which is 7.
Yeah, that's fair. Hemlock is going to comment back at you psychically. Old face. Old face.
Old. I don't know what to do with that. Psychically now, can you be more specific?
Long time. Saw her long time ago. Very long.
Miss Gray.
Yes.
Hemlock thinks that he recognizes you. Have you ever seen him before?
No, I've not. And she like pulls her hood a little bit closer, and
really?
Have you perhaps ever been to Germany?
No, I've never been to Germany.
Is she lying? Insight.
Yeah,
You can roll some insight if you wish.
I'm trying to remember where she's actually from. I can't remember right now.
Yeah, that's meta knowledge. You get to roll insight.
I'm gonna read this motherfucker.
Oh,
Are you though?
19. I'm a smart horse.
I'm just entertained by Anis's insight check.
Oh, yeah, reroll one.
Okay, I'm gonna reroll the one.
This horse knows if you're lying. Oh, Jesus!
Woohoo!
Damn. Again, you saved the fucking
You've
day.
flipped so many ones into 17 plus rolls. You've gotten a lot of mileage out of that feat.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, shit. What I forgot to use that I totally have, but I probably shouldn't because it probably has vocal guidance.
Oh, it would be pretty obvious you're casting a spell.
Oh, yeah.
You're not a sorcerer who can do it on the down low.
FYI, I can also guidance.
It's a good thing for multiple people to have. It's also a thing that's easy to forget about, but when you have it, it's amazing.
Hang on, I'm actually checking because because my
I
other
chose it for a
character
reason.
also had guidance.
It's probably the best cantrip if you're not a warlock.
It really is.
It's fair. But yeah, so both of you pretty cleanly pick up on the fact that.
Oh, quick pause. Theo, do you still have to leave at 10:20?
I can leave at 25.
Okay.
Okay.
We're about to wrap up this part right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so you both pick up on the fact that she's not lying when she says she's never been to Germany, but her levels of anxiety went way up when you commented that Hemlock thought he'd seen her before. And I'm not even going to make Penelope roll to see that her, like, the increased anxiety out of Gray has got Waver standing up.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, Hemlock, he's a bit of a people watcher. He likes to watch pretty girls. He probably just thinks he's seen you around. You know, why don't we leave her alone now, for now, Hemlock? There's a biscuit in it for you, and Newton, I will give you apples if you just come back to your seat with me, please.
He does the like foot thing where it's like, give her the candy.
Oh, of course, yes. And she just reaches into a saddlebag and pulls out a handful of candy and puts it down in front of Gray.
Okay. She's
Newton very much wants to be your friend.
She's looking directly ahead and holding her hood down uncomfortably low.
You should put 2 candies there.
No, I put a whole handful.
Oh, Jesus, how much of my candy are you giving away?
Fair bit.
Doesn't matter, I can make you more.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
All right, Penelope has walked over.
Nay.
I'm waiting on them to go back to their seats.
Oh, I forgot to give the teacher candy.
Well, the teacher is now standing up, and on looking at all of this,
That is not the way to your seat.
He's calling out at the class.
Newton, go back.
No, that evolves over.
This has been
Newton.
Hello, Newton. The horse.
Nay, he does the dance.
Yes, of course. Just grabs another handful of candy, walks over, decides not to put it in his hands, and walks over to the desk and puts it on the desk.
And with that, he has done his mission.
If you like candy, I hope you like it. If you don't like candy, I hope your students like it. I am so sorry. Hemlock, let's go, please.
As you're doing that, give me another Anise perception check.
Anise. That.
Specifying just because I know you were on the Hemlock sheet a second ago.
Perception. That was almost a 20, but it's a 4.
Okay. Don't worry about it. That's not like a negative. Don't worry about it. It's fine because it just means we're going by your passive instead.
Which would be a 12, yeah.
Yeah. So you're passive at 12. Like that's one of the D&D rules that people forget. Like you can't roll under your passive if you're trying.
Unless you nat 1.
Unless you nat 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he sort of mumbles at you as you're putting the candy on the table, and what you hear from him in a very low voice is that he's going to dismiss the room, but all of you remember to stay.
Gotcha. And then she'll be like, Hemlock, come on, please, let's go. She's like taking a cracker out. No, wait, hang on. Yeah, a biscuit is a cracker in England. Yeah. Yes. She's taking out a biscuit and just like, come on, please, let's leave her alone.
Hemlock will hesitate, but then pursue the cracker.
Okay. Over to the seat. Yep.
All right, and now that oh God, who am I?
Yon.
Now that Hemlock and Market Foxby have walked back over that way, Penelope is gonna walk back up to Gray and be like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yes, I'm fine.
Is she still anxious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as she passes Vivi, she's just gonna kind of lean up and whisper, Lord El-Melloi II.
She's just gonna whisper his name?
No, how much can we trust him, Lord El-Melloi II?
He's good people.
He's gonna gesture at her ears. How much can we trust him?
Oh, there's a decent chance he knows.
Right, good, okay. And then she's gonna run over here and vault over and get her.
So while that is happening, Penelope is gonna hold Gray's hand and cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. Let's see. Calm Emotions. Okay, so it's a verbal and somatic, so you're going to do the verbal part. You're going to be overtly casting a spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start doing the enchantment-y words. For somatic, one of your hands is touching hers and the other is doing your little Naruto hand signs or whatever it is you do. Because somatic components are weird Doctor Strange stuff. Because it's you attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people, each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose. So it's not touch.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're just doing that anyway. Okay.
Yeah, that's more of a just she's trying to show Gray that she's trying to help.
Okay.
Like a reassurance kind of thing.
Okay, and
I know it's not a thing.
She is going to make a roll because she doesn't know what you're doing.
Ah.
Let's see, that's a charisma saving throw. Well, that's definitely her weak stat. Okay. So, here's a fun thing. You start to cast the spell. But as you draw the mana to complete it, you feel the mana doesn't actually go into the spell.
Oh.
It's like you're trying to fill something that never fills. But the mana's gone. Like, you've still used it. You still use the spell slot.
Huh.
But something seems to have negated it. Or rather, taken the fuel from it. And then you can hear a little voice. Delicious.
Oh.
Oh
no.
That's odd.
Damn it. Oh, that's...
No, that... Thank you very much. I'm sure you mean very well, but I'm very good, thank you.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. What is that?
It's rude, is what it is. It's a rude mystic code.
It is quite rude. It stole that mana. How rude.
It's a good meal.
Ugh.
But thank you for the attempt. I'm sure you were doing something kind and not malicious.
Yeah, no, like, you seemed anxious, so I was trying to help.
Oh, I appreciate the thought.
I'm sorry, my friend's bird just... I'm literally sorry about the whole group.
No, it's fine. It's always interesting to... You know it's a psychopomp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seemed very nice. He has a nice voice. Just don't listen when he sings.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's certainly an interesting adventure today, says the professor in a completely different voice, because I've been jumping between so many voices, as is the nature of it. Just you wait till we're in Elf Town. I'm going to be a mess.
Oh, yeah.
No.
When I have to start swapping in, like, Scottish and Irish and all that stuff, too. Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
Oh, no, I was about to say, you can definitely give Annis's youngest sister a Brooklyn accent if you want.
Just like a dub Brooklyn accent. Some Joey Wheeler glory up in there.
Oh,
Yeah. Her little sister. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Brooklyn Rage.
Out of the cards.
No, Jesus Christ.
Yug.
No. You gotta believe in the heart of the gods, Annis.
I'm done.
What are you
I'm done with all of you.
If this was the OVA, I'd be beating people up, but it's not, so we're playing card games. But yeah, so Lord El-Melloi in his correct voice, which just pretend I'm doing, because now we're too far gone, announces that that'll be enough of that for today, and that I hope that I can certainly see some of you come back in better spirits tomorrow, when we'll be going over the practical applications of both what I've mentioned so far and what you've hopefully learned from speaking with other mages. Everyone who has not been asked to stay, please leave.
Nay,
Get up.
the horse gets up to leave.
Newton? No. Stay.
Newton stays.
Does Luvia get up?
Luvia looks to the Lord first, and he tilts his head towards the door, and she nods, and so everyone, I'm not going to drag all their tokens around, but
When Annis sees Luvia stand up, actually, Miss Luvia, I would very much like it if you could stay.
can roll persuasion.
Okay.
Hey, does she know that you're...
She doesn't
No,
know
she
who you are
doesn't.
yet, or at least she hasn't told you if she does.
Oh, that's poor.
I really should just... I'll be right outside.
Annis is gonna very quickly scribble a note in her notebook that
Does
says, oh god. Okay, I need
Hold
to
on.
think about what I want to say. please come to, and she's gonna put the address for the potion shop.
Okay.
Annis Greenleaf needs to talk to you. Just hand it to her as she's passing.
She takes a quick look at it and she nods. And then she be right outside. And she walks. Actually, we have an outside. I don't need to hide her. She can go outside.
Okay, but hear me out. Can I roll a persuasion for a compelling horse argument?
Sure.
Excellent. Don't fail me now. Damn.
You neigh appropriately, but unfortunately the language is lost on her.
Ah.
And with all of that, Lord El-Melloi walks over to Gray. You can see he's checking on her to make sure she's okay. And then she whispers something at him. He nods, and then she nods. And then she gets up and she goes over, but she locks.
She's also got the zoomies.
Yeah, she's super fast like that.
Wait, no.
Like,
so
here.
You can see Gray is closing the door, and on the back of the door, kind of like a Lazy Susan, there's a big disc on the back that has a bunch of lines on it, and she turns it about 90 degrees, and now you can see it completes a big like mage crest across the back of the door and the related walls. Like it just connects it all.
We locked in, bitches.
And you can all feel a new you've been through enough of these at this point that I can just tell you, like, you're in a bounded field.
Hey.
You're all in a bounded field, and then the Lord comes back to the middle at his seat and he says, all right, with that up, we shouldn't have any more eavesdroppers in Clock Tower. Now, will someone please tell me why 2 halflings, a half-elf, a centaur, and he looks over at Johnny, an American are here?
And a psychopomp.
Oh, is that... It's true, sir. It's a psychopomp. That makes sense. I had a feeling it was an Asoi, what with the mask, but...
Oh, nope, it is. You're right. He is. And this is just gonna, like, take off the wig, because the jig is up.
And I think that's our pausing point, since this is where we do need to break for next time. But hey, Waver knows what you are, give or take Johnny, because I had to roll for them individually, and Johnny is always a high or low.
That is everything I expected out of bringing a centaur disguised as a horse into a classroom with Waver Velvet.
To be fair, I think we did pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
And we completed the classwork.
You did your task, it's true.
It is. We made allies and friends.
Trying to corral the horse, but Annis was like, oh my god.
Yeah, Penelope's just like sweating bullets.
Annis was like, if he didn't already know that we're not normal people and a horse, then he does now.
He deserves a star sticker.
Is he going to continue pretending to be a horse?
I mean, he'll keep the head on maybe for a bit. Just so, his identity isn't,
That's fair.
Compromised.
But
now it's a horse that speaks common. Really broken common.
Good times.
Good times indeed.
Yeah, we'll pick up on that next time, and
Heck yeah.
you'll actually get to have your real conversation with him, with maybe less subtlety, maybe more.
Hey, about that grail.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Hey. Oh. Thank you.
That was fun.
That was fun.
That's something that happened.
Look, I now have a random person that at least, he seemed pretty cool as an ally. Might come in handy later.
Unfortunately, because you're a horse, you had a really hard time asking him what his name was.
That is also fair. I just know he's generic student number 1.
It's
number
true.
1 because he's number 1 in my heart.
There you
Oh my
go.
God.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who looks suspiciously like Fujimaru Ritsuka, like every other generic student in this room of both genders.
It's okay. I'll remember him. I must peace.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, Internet. Good night.
Good night,
Theo.
Internet. We will pick up in the
Night. Thank
future. Enjoy the
Yeah.
stream life.
Goodbye.